my backup here? I know my
We're in the kitchen, Flybird chicken. So fly. Take out a bite and do FlybirdFood.com. Love it to pieces.
How you doing? It's John Brewer here. We're doing another episode of Brews with Brewer, and it's my great pleasure to introduce everybody, if you haven't met him already, Mr. Michael Salmon, Chef Michael Salmon. He's got a, what's that?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man. He's got a great little place here that he just opened up. It's right off of Linton Boulevard, right across from Trader Joe's, Federal Highway in Linton. It's called Flybird. And this is Flybird. If you haven't heard about it yet, you need to get down here. If you're in Delray Boca area and you haven't tried this food yet, you're really missing out on something. Chef's been here. How long you been here?
8 months.
8 months. 8 months. And let's give the folks at home an idea of who you are and what brought you. I know you and I started talking probably about a year and a half ago, I think, when you were looking for spaces.
Looking for locations, and that's how we became acquainted and found out we had a bunch of mutual friends, and the rest is a romance, man. It's a good story, yeah. It's
a bromance, right?
A bromance, that's right. Well, you know, I've been in the industry for a long time. I've cooked for kings and queens alike.
That's it.
No, I've had a good run. I was on the Food Network, on the Next Food Network Star. I did a stint with my daughter, as a matter of fact, who works with me here on 24-Hour Restaurant Challenge, which was
That's
good.
the Food Network
That's
one?
food. That's another Food
24
Network.
Restaurant Challenge. Tell us a little more about how that experience was.
Well, that was a hoot. First off, I get to play with my daughter and in the kitchen. And the concept was 2 teams would come together in 2 empty dining rooms and 2 empty kitchens. You had to create menus, decorate, and serve 100 guests inside of 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
So we did it, and it wasn't a win or a lose sort of situation. It was just a fun game, and we had a great time together. And we were sequestered in a hotel, and it was shot over 3 days, but there's a lot of reality in reality television, I can tell you that, especially when it's your reality. So that was some of the fun stuff.
You worked at 21 Club, some of the places that you've cooked?
Yeah, I cooked at 21 Club. I was a saucier there. I worked under a couple of very renowned French chefs. Jacques Pepin was one we worked together for a while. Another chef, Alain Sayak, a very well celebrated guy. He taught me these 2 guys taught me everything I needed to know about chicken, which we all love it, we all eat it, and after 40 years, actually it's 40 years. I've been doing this 40 years. And I've chosen to continue to do it here in Delray. So, you know, this concept sort of evolved as a result of I couldn't find great chicken in town. I was planning on doing a breakfast or a lunch thing so I could have my nights and weekends free. And of course, being crazy, I wound up not doing that.
Right.
And so I brought in, I had a custom-made charcoal grill made out in Texas for us.
And we'll show pictures over the top of this. So we're going to show a picture of that charcoal grill. And
it's got something called a flywheel, which allows the grill to go up and down. So anyone who's cooked at home, for the most part, that grill is set in a position you have to figure out how to make it work. I have the luxury of being able to raise and lower the grill. So if the fire's too hot, I can back off, and if I need some more heat, I can bring it down. So
wow.
Yeah. So we use hardwood charcoal.
It's kind of like tuning a guitar almost, or something like.
It's
depending on the heat, you can raise the chicken. So you don't have to get the heat perfect, depending on. So
correct.
Basically, you've got 2 variables you're working with.
100%. And the interesting thing is that most people, including myself prior to this, professionally, don't get an opportunity to work on this sort of a grill. What's different? I mean, if you work on a gas grill, you turn the gas on, and it's always the same.
Right.
Very predictable, but you don't get any flavor.
Right.
So one of the things that distinguishes us, I think, from every other place around, because no one else does this, is that we're using hardwood, 3 hardwoods, and mesquite charcoal. So that brings a flavor. Here, look back to the time you first had chicken on a barbecue. The skin might have been a little burnt, but when you ate it, you said, wow, this is way different than stuff that's cooked in the oven.
Right.
Or in a fryer. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was a distinctively different flavor profile. This is the grown-up version of that. As we've grown up, so has the chicken.
Right.
Yeah. So it's wonderful, but I tell the cooks, and what I've learned just from standing over the grill, losing 30 pounds in the first 3 months, was the fire is never the same in any given moment of any given day. So you start a fire, if the wood is well seasoned, you get a good start. If it's not, you don't. So there's all these nuances to it. So as a good grill master, you really need to know how to work a fire.
Work the fire
read
itself,
it, yeah,
right.
because in that mastery comes quality product
Right.
that we offer that people are really kind of putting their arms around and loving it up, you know?
What are the 3 types of wood that are in the mesquite?
I've got oak, apple, and hickory.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, and then sometimes there'll be other woods, cherry will pop in there depending upon the source, but that's what gives us a good start, a good base.
So this isn't a pre-mix, you're mixing
No,
it
no,
yourself?
no. These are, I select this, and I actually just brought some new wood in, which is really well seasoned. So it starts the fire beautifully and brings off a heat. Today, it was the hottest fire I ever had. That said, you really have to know how to work it so the
Right.
chicken doesn't overcook.
Right.
You have to just bring it to this wonderful place. And like I said, it's a different experience every moment of every day, and learning how to play with it and poke it. And any guy or girl who's been out in the backyard, you sort of put a little of that lighter fluid in there, and you do this, that, and the other thing, and you kind of feel like the master of your little kingdom. This is just a bigger kingdom, and we're doing it in a bigger way. So
It's funny you say that, because we had a recent cold snap and I was in my backyard, and I tell you, my son dug a little hole out, we put some brick around it, and exactly what you're saying. I put the wood in there and you get it going, and you add a log and you just poke it and you flip it one way, and all of a sudden you get huge flames, and then you kind of flip it around the other way and you get a smoldering, and the interaction of the wood, the air, the breezes that come through,
yeah.
and the flame that
it's
you get
primal.
out of it.
It's primal.
It's very primal.
Man, woman, and man. Dealing with fire. Think about campfires and bonfires, and they're romantic. You can get lost in the Yule log.
Yeah.
It's like the ocean.
Yes.
But not.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's really great.
I think now's a good time to take a beer break. It's the John Brewer IPA that just came out. We took a few sips because this is my newest batch.
This is beautiful.
I kind of left it a little bit between the ferments. So I was a little worried whether it was going to carbonate or not, but
what do you say? Grab a chip. We make our own potato chips.
They
Who
make
does
their
that?
own, and so let's start to get into the menu, because one thing I noticed about your menu here is, A, it's got so much variety to it. B, it's not what you normally see. It's got your staples, your mac and cheese. It's got your mashed potatoes. It's got your coleslaw. But then you've got, we had the beets last time, and my wife absolutely raved about it. You're doing wild mushrooms here. You're doing char-grilled broccoli, which is amazing. Homemade potato chips. Everything that you make, it's not an afterthought. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is everything here has got your stamp on it. It's artisan. It really is.
Thanks. After 40 years, if I don't have it right now, when would I, right? But it was interesting when I first started the menu, and I put on most of the things that I knew and loved. I put on coconut rice and beans because, hey, I'm in Florida, and coconut and sunshine, and it sounds like the right thing, and everyone likes rice and beans and chicken. I made it, and it didn't come out that good, and my daughter, Jerry, turns to me and says, "What are you making coconut rice and beans? You never made that before. Why don't you just do your wild mushrooms and barley?" And she goes, "Just be who you are." So I needed to be checked and told to do what I do best, which I've been doing for years. So I just kind of dialed back into those things that just feel right to do. It comes as second nature. The whole concept, our menu is tight, right? It's centered around this char-grilled chicken.
Right.
A buddy of mine, my best friend Dana, and I were talking years and years ago. I'd come over to his house in the backyard and I'd do a barbecue. For 4 people, 6, sometimes 50 people it turned into. It was always a celebration on weekends. And I'd say, "What do you want me to make?" And he goes, "I don't give a hoot." He goes, "Just feed me." I've made 1,000 decisions today. I don't want to decide what restaurant I'm going to go to and how much I got to spend and listen to the waiter tell me specials. I'm done with that. Just feed me. So all of our shirts say "Just feed me." The big painting my wife did is the hashtag "Just feed me," because I think people have been, at least the demographics here, they've seen a lot, they've been around the block. They don't want to be, you don't have to overkill. You don't have to come tableside, "No, I got a whole Bronzino, blah, 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 white wine, girl." Who cares, right? I tell people we're small, we're artisan, we're kind of a little cottage groove right here. And what I say to people is this: if you don't want to cook, if you don't want to go out, just come over for chicken. Right. It's very simple. It's a straight line right here. You can pick it up, take it out, or you can sit down in our little cozy dining room and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
My wife designed it. She painted the paintings.
Wait.
All of her touches here.
That's something you got to come down and at least experience this place once. You know, your style of food may be quote unquote fast casual, but what I love about here is the atmosphere. You've got a little bookcase in the corner. You've got a cartoon. It's got a very, very southern hospitality, homey kind of feel. It's one of those places where, yeah, most of your customers are probably dining and taking out, but if you do decide to eat here, or even when you come here to pick up your food, it's a great vibe. It really is. It's southern hospitality, which really fits well around here. I mean, you've got chicory coffee up there, which I always notice, you don't see that in a fast casual atmosphere. You've got tapioca mango pudding. You do fried chicken as well, right?
I do one sandwich.
Okay.
So the menu is very tight. When you walk in, people say, what do you recommend? And I say, the chicken, because the category is the chicken.
Right.
Do you have any sandwiches? I go, yeah, I have the sandwich. I have one sandwich. It's called our Flybird. And with all the crazy stuff between all the fast food restaurants that are battling and running out of fried chicken sandwiches, I just had this sandwich on, which is on a toasted potato bun. We do a chipotle mayo, sliced pickles, this beautifully fried chicken breast, coleslaw, top that off, and eat it serve with our potato chips. And I've had 5 other sandwiches. Nobody wants them. They only want the Flybird. So it's become like this cult following. And so I have one sandwich on the menu. So I stand behind it. It better be good or else what am I doing?
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a lot of fun.
Where did the name Flybird come from?
Organic sort of experience. We bantered around. We were in different locations. We had a place we wanted to call it the Islander. This was on Long Island, and every time we wound up here in Delray by choice. We were just going through this, and my wife is an artist, and she started playing with little logos, which is this little bird right here, and it's
right.
like chickens don't fly. Well, ours are going to fly right out the door. So I can't tell you exactly how it kind of came about, but I will tell you that people ask me this all the time, and I wish I had some great story to tell. But the truth of the matter is, we were just working through it, and eating some food, and drinking some good beer, and Flybird came up, and my wife did the logo, and off to the races we are.
So let's dig in a little bit more on this, the chicken itself, because what I love about the chicken here is it's got a crispy skin, very flavorful. You get all the smoke flavors, the mesquite, all the different woods. It's got citrus to it, and then you've got herbs. And to go along with that crispy outside, I've never had a chicken that's that juicy on the inside. So can you tell us, without giving away all your secrets, don't give us all your secrets. Part of
the secret is I don't know how it happened. But,
keep doing it that way.
That's exactly right. The process is simple. First off, you have to start with a good bird, and we're proud of the bird we sell here. So It has what they call it's never ever, meaning it's never ever had antibiotics, and that's something from a health point of view. You don't want to consume too much of that, and I don't want to get lost in the health benefits or other, but we just start with a clean bird. Not organic, because organic assures you of certain things, but not necessarily the quality bird that you need to produce the best product. So we start with a bird that's called never ever, no antibiotics, no hormones, vegan fed, and treated. You can't treat a chicken humanely, but you can treat a chicken better. Right?
Okay.
So we do that, we don't do that, but we source our product. And it was a while. We've been through quite a few different vendors trying to find the right chicken. That said, we take it, we season it, it goes on racks in the walk-in refrigerator, and it's under a fan for 36 hours.
36 hours, okay.
Right, so what happens is seasoning, instead of it tasting seasoned on the outside, in that 36 hours, the skin dries under the fan, and the seasoning is allowed to kind of permeate the meat.
Gotcha.
We then take it out and grill it, mark that skin both sides so the bones get some of that char. I mean, people say, oh, how do you eat this? I go, with your hands. I'd rather people just tear into it, and because what better thing to, either people want a knife and fork chicken breast or they want a chicken.
Right.
And then they start tearing it apart, and I tell you how many clean plates and bowls with clean bones. I'm going, these are my people. These people get it, And so it's grilled over the mesquite charcoal and hardwoods, and that flavor just comes through. And you know, again, working for these good chefs over the years and being taught, you have to be a good student. And I tried to be humble and got my butt kicked a few times because I wasn't so much so. But now it's you know, I made up a saying, and it goes like this: that you can't make something taste good if you have a bad taste in your mouth. And that's in any business. You know, if you're up and you're into what you're doing, things start to fall into place, and there's good vibes and good karma. This place, Flybird, my wife's participation, my daughter's input here.
There,
you know, this isn't a corporation. This is a mom and pop and a kid shop. You know, and so I come to work, and I love being here. I love our customers. There are more guests in my living room, you know, kind of thing. And that feeling,
Let me just interrupt you there, because he's not just whistling Dixie. I've come here, every time I've come here, we have great conversation. I see him interact with all the guests. He's waving at people. Okay, we're here at 3 o'clock, which is supposed to be the dead time for a restaurant. There's half a dozen people in here that are waiting for food. He's waving at guests as they come through here, and Michael genuinely engages with everybody here. And I think that to go along with the magic chicken, that's your secret sauce, you know, for what you're doing.
it's hospitality,
Yes.
man. It's just
The lost art.
What's the best thing? You walk into a place and people go, "Hey, John, how you doing? I haven't seen you since last year." You know, I give people a little for not being here in 2 weeks, but I get people who come in here. I'm telling you, I see people here 3 times a week, week after week. They love it. And it's funny, I had a table in here right in the first weeks we opened. And the guy looked like he was from Central Casting from a Goodfellas movie. He was Mobster 6, who was killed pretty early on.
Delray Boca? I can't believe it.
And he's sitting there and he goes, "Come here." I go, "You talking to me?" He goes, "Yeah, come over here." What? He goes, and he's sitting with his wife, very attractive redhead, and he goes, "I get it. I get what you're doing here and I like it."
That's awesome.
Like, and I said, "You think that's something? Ask her." I look at her and she goes, "Oh, he doesn't like anything." And they become regulars and they sit under the painting my wife done, and I love it. The people who get it, and that's our clientele. Some people walk in, they look at it and they go, "This is not for me," and they leave, and that's fine with me.
I can't believe that.
It's okay. It's okay, because some people want a menu that's a Bible, you know, just page after page.
Right.
It's very easy to make up your mind. People walk in here the first time and they do this. And I know it's their first time because they're guarded and they're not quite sure. And then the next time they come in there, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you?" So, I'm open 6 days a week. I'm closed on Sunday, but I'm just starting this pop-up concept, which will start this Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. Tell me a little more about that.
Well, I've cooked so many different types of food over the years for so many different types of people and celebrities and sports figures and all this stuff that I've got kind of a nice repertoire of things outside of chicken. So I said, let's play and see what happens. So this coming Sunday, and I suspect we'll do this on Sundays thereafter, I'm going to have 1 seating. It'll be price fixed. You'll get 3 courses. You'll have a choice of things. This week is our prime steak. You'll have a 14-ounce prime New York steak. I'm making a ceviche with local snapper. Our desserts, I have a lot of surprises. People are going to come in here and they're going to go, "I can't believe what he did." And it was only $60, you know. You can't buy that steak on the Avenue for $75. So it's not so much about the money. I'm a business, clearly you got to make a buck, right?
Right.
But this is the fun. This is what I love doing. I love feeding people. I love putting my arms around. I love people coming in and giving me a kiss. I've got customers who cook for me. They go, "I want you to try my meatballs." And they bring me their meatballs, you know? I mean, so I don't work, I play. This is what I do. This is my playground, and I say, come into the sandbox and have fun with us. And that's the way it's working out, man.
That's awesome. So if somebody wants to find out about your pop-ups, you can do like one a month. Do you have any plans?
Every Sunday, I'm starting this
Every
Sunday.
Sunday?
Planning on every Sunday.
Really?
Yep.
So if somebody wants to find out what's on the menu or what you plan on cooking,
Well,
you have a website?
Remember, I've got less than 20 seats. So it's really a first come, first serve.
For sure.
If you go to the website,
And it's an intimate experience, which is
Oh, yeah.
the other part of it.
And everyone's going to know everyone, and they're going to, "Oh, I saw you at that place," and hopefully this has some legs to it. But so if you go to the website, which is, God, I feel like donate to my campaign.
You got to say it like the radio. If you go to my website,
right? But what we want you to do is we want you to join the family. right?
Yeah.
So the only way to really do that effectively is go to the website, and at the bottom it says join the coop. This is the chicken coop, right? Join that, and you'll be the first people to know what's happening when it's happening. That said, you'll all get the opportunity, if you want to, just to find out what's going on. And we did that once, and we sold it out in 2 days.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's
Billy Joel
fantastic.
sold Madison Square Garden out in 2 hours. I respect that, but hey, I did it in 2 days. So me and Billy were like that.
And it's a New York steak that you guys are going to be serving?
It's a New York steak of mine, man.
Wow.
That's Billy Joel, New York state of mine. Okay. Yeah.
A New York steak of mine?
New York steak of mine, man. That's right. Come on, you're from New York. Get down here and eat some steak, man.
That's great. That's fantastic. So,
Great brew.
you like it,
You
huh?
got a six-pack? Where are we going?
Yeah, I got some more at home. I just threw these in the
What's
refrigerator
going
a little
on
while
down here
ago.
with the potato chips?
The lady dropped
Oh,
them.
the
Yeah,
lady.
we dropped them. Well, anyway, I think that's a good note for us to finish on. Guys, if you're in the neighborhood, Delray Beach, Boca Raton, you got to come by and try Flybird. We're going to have pictures of the menus on here. We'll have pictures of the mesquite barbecue.
How you doing?
We're going to show the chickens. We're going to show the vegetables.
Good to see you guys.
See you later, guys.
Thanks for coming in.
And you got to check this place out. You feel like you're in a second home, which I know is the vibe that he's going for, and I really think he's nailed it here. Good local guy, good
Thanks,
friend.
man.
We really, really wish you the best of luck.
Let me feed you. Come.
There you go. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers. You got
Very
it.
good.
My pleasure.
More, please.
Ooh, I like it. I opened one the other day and I was a little like, oh, I don't